As you guys can see, we're setting up a stunt right now. This is what we call a jerk pull or ratchet. You'll hear different names for it. This is where my brain starts going faster than my mouth, so just keep up sometimes. So Brian is wearing a jerk vest. Come here. I demand a lot from my guys. I'm very rough.
And the jerk vest isn't just because nobody likes him.
No, he's a jerk.
Yeah, okay.
No, I like Brian sometimes. No, actually, the jerk vest is like the vest of the stunt performers. Like whenever you go on a movie, name a movie, Matrix, whatever movie, it's that right there. On the cover of The Fall Guy, he's wearing that right there. This is to make you fly. This is to make you go through walls. Turn around. You got points for all the wire going here and turn around, even to make him flip. If I wanted to make him flip, I would just rig him up and he'd go, all he'd have to do is jump and he'd go flying, flipping, whatever I wanted him to do, because I'd be in control of him. How much do you think this vest costs? $800. $800 for a vest. So how much do you think a person costs? A lot. This is why I say hire professionals, because they come with this very expensive gear to make everything look cool.
So yeah, you want somebody who they're going to come with their own jerk vest.
They have their
bag. They have their.
The jerk vest. No, the jerk vest is not usually a part of your stunt bag. Your stunt bag is your personal pads, knee, elbow, helmets, mouth guard. Those things. That's part of your stunt bag. The jerk vest usually. The studio will provide that because we're doing a specific stunt. Is it cool? Do you have your own? Yeah, I have 3 of them. So I have it. So because I want these guys to do what I've done, and I want them to do stuff that I've never done, but I know how to build it. So he's wearing a jerk vest. I think, what do you have, low profile? Nothing on right here?
Nothing.
Okay, so if we were working on a hardwood floor, he would already have his pads on. Since we're falling into a resi pad and panel mats. These are the panel mats right here. Your judo mats, your wrestling mats, whatever you want to call them. We'll call them panels because they fold into panels. And this is your resi. It's big and soft, so you can take a hit, a pretty hard hit, and not get hurt. Now we're going to attach. Jess, can you hook them up?
And so while you're hooking them up, Ryan, you talk about, now you're going to shoot this. The whole point isn't just to make them fall down, but you want to film it. So, so it's a kick. You're kicking him.
Here.
He's flying backwards. So what do you want this to look like from a director's perspective from filming it so that it looks good on camera because you're not going to actually give him where you're going to, little love tap maybe,
Oh, he's going to give him a little contact.
So what you want to do first and foremost is there's a couple of things. You want to get a shot that can be used independent of any sort of special effects editing that may or may not be able to take place. So if the kick is coming from where you're going to hit him from, you're going to kick him this way. What I would probably do as my quote-unquote safety shot, just to make sure that I've got something, if the world goes to hell, every special effects person in the universe disappears, I still have something that I can use to honor this man's body, this sacrifice that he's about to because I think it's really sad to me when I see guys take a big shot and then it doesn't make it in the film. That that makes me sad. You know what I'm saying? So from right here, this angle, if that kick comes in and he flies back, is that, are you going to stand right there? Is that, if you want to, I'll block you off right here. So what I'm going to try to do here is sort of situate my camera in a situation where I'm not going to necessarily see the people behind him, okay? Which is going to be kind of difficult to do, but if you drop it down a little bit, like I don't see anything. So assuming that we're doing this on a stage, if we want a real set, there'd probably be a significant amount of space behind them.
I'm going to piggyback to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you just have to get the camera to a situation where you don't see as many props as possible.
Well,
there are
maybe
ways to eliminate.
there'd be something between them. There's a fake wall or something.
Yes.
Yeah, so you don't see the people pulling the...
But the rope is an issue. You gotta account for that specifically on your safety shot. So when the kick comes in from right now, I would probably do it right here. Foreground, middle ground, and then background. And again, the goal being to see his face as he takes that shot where he's like, oh, Like, we gotta have that. You're not gonna get that from any other angle, okay? Intensity, those crazy moments that we see that we fall in love with in cinema happen because we can see the reaction of the person who's taking the shot. So my first shot that I would take is right here, is the safety shot right here. Performer A, performer B, impact and reaction. It's gonna happen from right here. Do you have?
No, I was gonna piggyback, yes. What I would do here, first of all, for the rope, I usually don't use this kind of rope. For training, we do. I would use a rope called Tech 12. It's this tiny, tiny, tiny thread, easily erasable. You don't even see it, actually, when you can have foggers going on and you wouldn't see it. And then
Because you could put some atmosphere, you get a little
yeah,
fog or
Yes.
something, and then you don't see it. Yeah.
And I would put either a wall here, but because, as you can see, I was positioning Brian a little bit more ahead, because not only would I shoot front, I'd shoot about 2 o'clock. So then you'd see that distance of him going through the wall and smashing the shit out of that wall or whatever is there, him slamming into the wall, especially because this is a straight pull. So we have to do test pulls. You'll see here, he'll just come down. But if I put another rope instead, I'm just to go a little higher, I'd say I want him to go up here as if he got like blasted by some superpowered demon and then slide down the wall. I would do that. But again, I would do that same thing. I'd shoot this way, and I'd shoot that way, and shoot. I'd shoot this way because I'd have that Tech 12. And you wouldn't see this carabiner. You wouldn't see this. What you would see is like a quick link, if anything, attached right there under his clothes.
And After Effects has a cable removal feature in there where it's I don't know any After Effects folks in here. There is a cable removal feature in After Effects where you can remove them. But again, his point it boils down to coverage. We all know what coverage is, right? This angle, that angle. And again, just making sure you have options. So if you want to go ahead.
No, don't go yet. Don't go yet.
We'll wait for
Don't
that.
go yet. Okay.
Okay.
What we would do is these guys are trained to go. We have cues that we go through, steps, safety steps, and stuff like that. So right now we haven't tested. We have 2 pullers. We have Mitch pulling. We have Jess pulling. They've done this stunt at our stunt school, but right now you have to take into. Can you guys hear me?
But we are recording audio, though, so if you do the
sorry.
mic,
Okay.
so yeah.
It'd be better if I had like a headset. So we have to take into effect how much he weighs and what distance we want him to travel. So me as a stunt coordinator working with the director, he'd say, I want him to blast straight through. Of course, Tim is not going to drill him. He might throw a little that, if anything, but he's gonna throw that with the whip of his leg. And I'd say, let's test Brian without the kick. Let's do one quick pull. So we would say, stunts, ready? Stunts, ready. So we'd start pulling tension on the rope. On action. 3, 2, 1, action, hop! As we could see, he traveled. Was that a lot of energy? To me, it wasn't enough. I wanted him to go flying more. So I would put him, I demand a lot of these guys. So this is where I would say, your stunt bag comes in handy. Your pads, your elbow pads, your mouth guard, your knee pad, even a helmet, as mine is over there. So I'm gonna kick this bag a little bit more. I'd say, hey, Brian, where's the pad? Right, yep, visualize you landing on it. Guys, how much power? That was about, 50? Let's tweak it up give me another 20. And then try to get him to land here. Right there. Okay, stunts, you ready? Stunts ready! Also, very important, at the end of the stunt, you can say, I'm fine all day. I need to see this. Thumbs up. You do that high fall? Thumbs up. You get hit by a car? Thumbs up. You just got set on fire and EMTs are checking you out? Guess what? I'm good. Every stunt performer does this. It's international. Everyone goes, I'm good. I'm good. Okay, guys? Remember that. If you're on a set and your stunt person doesn't do this after a set, that's a sign. Something's not right there. So look for that. Okay? Okay, guys. Stunts ready? 3, 2, 1, action! Booyah! That's what I want to see. Now we're going to throw in the kick guy. Yeah, shaka, shaka. So now we say, This is all before handing it over to the director and the camera guy. I'd say, hey, stand here, watch, so you know where to shoot.
Right, and repeatable. Like we talked about earlier, these have to be repeatable because you not only you're doing the warm-up, you're doing the takes, how many takes you're going to end up doing, you're going to do it from different angles, so everything has to be repeatable without getting hurt.
This is why the pads are super important for repeatable stunts. There are one-and-dones, like when you have to smash a truck through a restaurant. That's a one-and-done. You don't get practice. But what you do is you guys can rehearse because you built a team. This is when you don't bring newbies on. You have your seasoned vets who will say, Tim, Naples show, rappel, fight, German mechanic. He already knows what I'm saying because he's seasoned. He and I have seasoned each other to know our work. I'd say these guys, hey, dead man, pole, tie off, Brian's taking the hit. They know that Brian's gonna do pretty much this, but under his own power. It's because we're seasoned with code words. And then working with the director, they start saying, okay, cool. These seasoned guys, let me stand back. The camera guy, okay, let me see where I can shoot, especially when shooting a fight scene, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So now Tim is gonna throw a little bit of whip ass on him, all on the same call. And this is still rehearsing. And then I'll hand it over to the director to do everything. Okay, stunts, you ready?
Ready. Stunts ready.
Ready?
Ready.
Okay, with solid. Stunts ready? And this is where I demand a lot. Stunts ready?
Ready.
3, 2, 1, action! See, the timing was off. You gotta go on a hup. You guys saw that. It's really good to see mess ups, because it happens. Now, if it was someone who wasn't seasoned, I'd be like, oh man, I shouldn't have brought this guy on set. But since I know Brian can take a hit, this is where I throw my notes. Cool, that was a nice take. Guys, on the boom, so hup is same thing as the kick. Got it? So that'll be your action. Stunts, ready?
Ready.
3, 2, 1, action! Timing's still off. This is where we start tweaking it down. Okay, on action, you're gonna kick him. So you're just gonna kick him on action. So you're gonna go on action. Got it, guys? This is where you start. This is where those rehearsals come in. This is how you avoid injuries. And this is good. You need this stuff. And I'm glad you guys are seeing these things because you want to see. You don't want to see someone get hurt, but you want to see where they can get hurt. Okay, guys? On action, you're going to pull on action. You're going to kick them on action. So it's all simultaneously. That's a big word for me. I would usually say at the same time. I couldn't spit out simultaneously. So on the same time. Okay, guys, stunt ready?
Ready.
3, 2, 1, action! Boom. And there's your stunt. Who wants to see Brian do it again? Okay, handing it over to the director.
So, I mean, I was pretty happy with that. You hire good stunt people so you don't feel like you have to slide back in there and tell them what to do. Like, that's just, again, pre-production people, very, very important, all right? I was pretty happy with that. And probably what I like to do as a director is I always have my A cam specifically for stunts, and I do get the B cam just in case. To, again, max out in case, look, maybe he doesn't get up. But you got it at 2 different angles, and it's important. So we go through the motions here. I would like for you to walk into this, like, at this point, assuming I'm filming from this side, just sort of walk. You get your hands up like you're ready to fight, and then I want you to walk on in there and then just serve them, okay?
Claire. Why don't you bring a camera up?
Yeah, let's get Claire to come on up and let's film this, and we'll share this on the
Ryan,
on the
will you
Instagram
be
page.
calling action?
Yes, I will call action.
Will you be doing this is me as a stunt coordinator when I step up. Will you be doing a rehearsal into the walk up before the hit?
Sure.
Okay.
Just to block it off, just so Claire,
where do you want the camera now? So
Claire.
You've got camera.
Let's go Claire right here, all right?
I'd say to my stunt
what I
guys.
wanna have happen is I want actually back up a little bit. Let's follow him in. So I'm sorry, I forgot your name. Tim. Tim, stand up right here. All right, and now Claire, back up. And I want you to sort of just like, let's start lower, like on him, so we're getting sort of that. There we go. Yes, I love it. Go a little bit wider. Back up. Yeah, all right, that's cool. So make sure let's. Yeah, I like that shot. So just you guys can't tell what's happening here, but I have it framed up so that I've got Tim in the foreground. He's going to sort of walk into this. So back up a few steps, Tim. And yeah, that's fine. And then just like, you know, you're going to walk into it and she's just going to get it. Now, when the impact comes, Claire, just slightly move a little bit this way and you can feel free to sort of just jolt the camera just a little bit right on the impact, just a little bit. And then you just follow him in like on the impact, so like sort of like.
So when he goes, he'll fold.
And then follow him all the way through the roll, okay? So we go through our normal keys and all that stuff. Your first AD calls the slate, blah, 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 blah. Everybody ready, camera set, we have speed. All right.
So, but I told my guys not to pull because it's a rehearsal with the movement.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
All right. So 3, 2, 1, action. Walk in. All right. Good. Let's back up a little bit more. Okay. Actually, are you, I see what the issue is. Stop rolling, please. Go to, switch to 24. So we can get.
So this is why, you know, you're setting up your camera and everything ahead of time. So you're practicing this. They're setting the camera because it's all the moving parts together, right?
Yeah.
It's not just you know it's two people pulling. It's one person falling, one person kicking. You've got the camera person. You've got the sound person somewhere. You know, people are mic'd up. You've got boom. So all those moving parts. None of this happens fast. All these moving pieces have to go into perfect sync in order to get the shot and the shot that you want. Because that's the whole point: is get the shot.
And it's constant tweaks, because I'd say, hey, so I talk to directors, hey, just so you know, I didn't like the way he was falling because it didn't look right. To give you the action that you want, I dropped the carabiner down, so now Tim is going to kick him low to give him that folding action. So if we were shooting sideways, you'd get that good yank of him doing a taco. You guys know what a taco is? That's a taco, yeah. So for me, I'd say, hey, so I gave you those tweaks so you know going into it. It's going to look different from the rehearsal. And Are you guys ready to go? And they're ready to go if you want to.
We're going to do one more walkthrough in. We changed the frames per second from 60 to 24. So let's get one more walk in there just to frame that up. I think I'm going to like this. Yes, please follow him. All right. Go ahead, camera speed. All right. And 3, 2, 1, action. Pretty good. I thought that was that works for me. All right. So I'm happy with the blocking again. And we roll on this just because we never know whether or not maybe this is going to be a good walk up. Maybe something's going to happen later on.
Well, and you could cut to the
you
reverse
can cut to the
as well.
reverse angle. The walk up, the action is going to take care of itself on the impact. But the walk up, again, it's a little moment that you might have in your back pocket that you can use. Trailer or the actual film, you actually want to have that in there. That's why we roll on something like that. So I think I'm ready to go. We're ready to, let's do it for real this time.
On your action.
All right. Claire, let's move a little bit this way. All right. And so again, just make sure we get that impact. All right, go ahead. We got camera speed. All righty. Let me know when you're set. All righty. In 3, 2, 1, action. Pretty good. Cut.
Right, so that was a little bit more taco, and he didn't go sort of ass over tea kettle like the last
Follow
couple
him all
because
the
you
way
had
in
him
this time.
high up, so that the last few he was
follow him,
flipping
like,
over,
boom.
you know, and basically doing
That's
a
where the
backward
carabiner
somersault.
angle,
And
yeah.
so now you move the carabiner down,
want him to go
and it's
further
more
out.
of that taco look where he's just flying
Just
straight
follow
backwards
him
as
all the
opposed
way
to
to the-
flipping over after he's
Yeah.
been hit.
I want you to fly. Let's go, baby.
All right. We're going to do one more on this angle, and then we'll go to the reverse.
Yeah. Hey, make him fly. If he goes out of control, catch him.
All right. Cameras got speed. All right. In 3, 2, 1, action. Beautiful. Beautiful.
There you go,
Ryan.
that's worth an applause.
I loved it. All right. Now, not to get lost in the stunts and all that. as a director, and this is just Ryan Watson's opinion, it's important to get that close-up of him landing. So you would maybe not even, and this again goes to where we talk about saving someone's body, because I'm not going to put the camera on him here. There is no reason for him to actually take the kick in that situation. It would be 3, 2, 1 pull. We pull him, and we get the break fall and the impact and him rolling around in pain and something like that. There is no reason for him to take the actual shot here. Okay, just to reiterate that. So,
and even if you were doing like let's say you're doing an extreme close-up or a close-up, all you need is this
falling.
shot. This pad isn't here.
Absolutely.
This pad isn't here anymore. He's got pads on his back, and then the camera's here, and it's
falls
literally
into
almost
it
he's
without
just falling into it without
so
getting
let's
jerked.
let's just get him
tap.
get him like landing right here. If you can.
Brian,
Yep.
go big. Sell it.
So for the close-up of him actually landing, you don't need to do the whole thing all the way through from beginning
No.
to end. It's just the final piece, basically.
Yep. So just like and then like get all the way in there on his face.
Okay.
All right.
Start on him, though?
No. I want him to fall into it. All right. And then just zoom in. In 3, 2, 1, action. Beautiful. All right. Maybe you use it, maybe you don't. But cinema is not a race. Okay. It's not like you got to have those beats and those breathing room, those moments to let the big shot simmer. Okay. If you have an amazing high impact move, you can't just move on to something else. You got to give the audience time to digest that shit, to be like, dang, is he really hurt? Like, if you don't do that, you're not doing your job as a storyteller. All right? So I'm pretty happy with that. Are you happy, cinematographer? Okay. Well, on the close up? Yeah. Okay, let's get the close up one more time.
Do the same hit, and then we got a wow wait for you.
Yeah.
Same hit. Oh, okay. Thanks, bro.
Yeah. All right. All right, you ready? Camera speed. Camera set. Stunt ready. And 3, 2, 1, action.
So, and I think this is all great, and I think something to note, and Kevin, you would know about this. Some of you may have seen, there's a documentary out, I think it's on HBO, about Harry Potter, about the stuntman, Daniel Radcliffe stuntman, that was paralyzed from doing a very similar stunt to this. So it was a pull stunt, but it was a machine that was pulling him as a ratchet machine.
Yep.
And they had it cranked up a little too high, and he went into pads on a wall and broke his back, basically, and he's paralyzed for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
And so while this looks super safe right now, these are experienced stunt people who have done this over and over, and it's another reason for safety. You're talking, the Harry Potter films, these are highly paid, well-trained stunt people, and people still can get paralyzed on something like that. So it's why it's important, even if you're a student filmmaker and you're doing things and you don't have any money, find a way to do it professionally and get people. Go to stunt school at least for a couple of months to learn how to do it before you're shooting your student films or whatever it might be, because again, it looks great on camera, but safety is always the most important thing, and I think that's one thing that we want to preach over and over again in this is doing the stunts safely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so what we're going to do now, we're getting our coverage from the other angle. I'm pretty sure from my directing eye suggests that when the impact happens, we're going to use that side. But we still want to get our coverage on this side. He looks badass walking into this shot here, so I want to get that intimidating shot of him walking into this fight, this time keeping Brian in our foreground and then Tim in the background. We're going to get this angle right here, getting that kick. And we'll probably, this is one of those ones where I would be like, I would want my camera person to be pretty close, and I'm not going to endanger Claire. But for me personally, like, this is the best angle. I love those intimate angles here. So again, through rehearsal, you would make sure that there's someone holding this mat and something so that when he falls. So let's just do sort of a test run here as if I'm going to be the camera person right here, and I'll leave her there for right now. I'll just sort of stand here and see if we can get sort of a soft fall just to see how the stability of this space is going to hold up on the impact. And
Wait, before you go. And this is me as a stunt guy, the stunt coordinator, say, I have to stand here just for those runaways because the camera guy is looking there, but if Brian goes wild, I need to get him out of the way. Does that make sense? So I'm watching his back.
all right.
So I'm back here.
All right, so this is just a rehearsal. And by the way, you can do a lot of these things on your phone nowadays without having to pay the camera person for
Right.
like all the equipment. Phone footage is an excellent way to do that. All right. Ready and action. I'm pretty happy with that. The framing was good. Now I do want the fall to see, like, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Wait, hold on.
You do it at maybe about 50% speed, but I do want to see where the impact is.
Do you want him to go past the camera?
I would prefer yes.
Okay, so, yeah. No, you're going to get pulled. He wants you to go past the camera. So let's go with the same speed you guys had. Brian, be conscious there's a camera right here. So same energy. I want you to land right there and be conscious.
So small details here. I switched up my arms to not have, so if I need to get the hell out of the way, I can move that way without like really getting hurt. And then I had my foot that was right next to the mat here. Probably not a good idea because if once he hits that mat, it's going to move, and then the camera's going to do something that I don't want it to happen. So I've moved, and maybe I got about 5 or 6 inches between my foot and this mat, and I can use this arm to sort of stretch out to get in there.
And you also don't want the camera person to have a blown ACL because they get smashed into from the side as well.
All righty. All right. This is a test run, and 3, 2, 1, action. Pretty happy with that. And I didn't touch the mat or anything like that. So that works for me.
up.
Now I think we're ready to do it for real. Claire, come on up.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
Got it.
And you can just, I'll block you up and I'll watch my camera person's back. All right.
Choke up higher. Choke up higher.
I'll put this in.
I'll hold the pad. Yeah, I know. I want more. Don't give me that. Choke up and pull. Give a strong action. These guys are used to strong action. Nothing weak.
Camera set. In 3, 2, 1, action.
Late. It was late.
Yeah, let's do it one more.
Yeah, so then you can see what's happening. Once you start actually filming it, you're like, all right, this was a little, I'm gonna need to adjust this a little bit. Let's do one more here. And so again, like I said earlier, repeatable without getting hurt. How many times can you keep doing this without knocking somebody out, basically?
The detail that was missed is, remember I said jolt the camera a little bit on the impact? We didn't get a good jolt, so we're gonna do it one more time. The jolt's not gonna be to the left or to the right. I want it to be like a quick, like boom, right on the impact.
And and there's a trick that's used in post-production a lot of times too. And a lot of times in post-production, when there's a kick or there's a punch being thrown, they'll take out one single frame.
Yeah.
They'll remove one frame at the point of impact. So there's that super quick movement, that snap, because it's a jump cut. They're creating a jump cut, but your eye doesn't notice one frame, but your eye notices something moves really fast. So taking that one single frame out in post-production can then increase essentially the impact and the speed of the take. Even if you're not going at full speed, and a lot of times they'll increase 10% the last 15 frames or something like that. There'll be a 10% increase in the speed in that, so that again, if even in real live action it's not happening that fast, you can do that in post-production so that it's safer on set, but then visually when you're watching it, it has more impact.
So what I want to do here, just to end this, is I'm going to have Tim back up to the wall, walk in badass, and what I'm going to do with
Use your
Claire is
microphone.
I'm going to have her sort of, let's start.
Microphone. Use your microphone.
We're going to reveal Brian. So all I'm going to do
Ryan,
is have
we can't hear you without your microphone because we're recording audio.
I'm sorry. Let me backtrack. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to have Tim sort of walk into this, similar to how we revealed Tim on that side. We're going to reveal Brian on this side. So I'm going to go ahead and just sort of guide Claire back. Obviously, we were doing this for real. We got a steady cam, we got a AC and all that stuff to make a dolly operator, all that to make sure that that's in order. That is the appropriate way to do it. Since we're just sort of hustling here, I'm just going to guide her back to make sure she doesn't trip. And we're going to land right back in our drop zone, and then we're going to go for it. So it'll be we'll say at 3, 2, 1 action, and then I'll say 3, 2, 1 go for the stunt. All right, got that, fellas?
Wait, before, because there were some tweaks. This is why you get with your stunt team, because I was tweaking when they were talking. So, Tim, I'm going to give it a little bit more energy on here. I put this a little higher. He's going to fly back. I told him where to stand. What was the other thing that I just changed? Because they're going to come in. Power with the hook. Yeah. So you're going to hear a lot. The action is so they know, and so we're all on the same page. When he gives that loud hup, that's the yank. So you know. So it's I said action. Oh, okay. I'm going off their visual or their verbal cue, because sometimes the stunt goes off of something else. Goes off of like an explosion, a visual cue.
Yeah, action starts the scene, and then there's another sort of a secondary action that starts the stunt.
Yeah. So we built the scene. The stunt crew built the scene off of Tim's hup, and these guys will know. They're going to give you a 75%.
Cool.
So just so you know, they're going to fly. He's going to fly backwards, and his goal is to end here. So.
You can always speed up in post. So 75% is a very good speed. You can add 15, 20% in post on the impact itself, and you're good. All right. Are you ready, Claire? I go ahead, frame them up.
Okay.
We have speed. Okay. So once again, 3, 2, 1 action. We'll start the camera move. 3, 2, 1 go. Stunt. All right. And 3, 2, 1 action. Come on back. And 3, 2, 1, go.
All right.
Brian, thumbs up.
I think we're pretty good there. I want to
Thumbs
make
up.
sure
Yeah,
we give time for
we're going to do some
Q&A.
questions from the audience, so that's a round of applause for the stunt team.